at that. Perfect.
Like lurking right behind me.
Everybody said, yeah, my back hurts. What's up, Facebook land? Brandon Orr, Stephanie Mendenhall. Today we have with us Staci Glass. We're here at Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe, Facebook Live again, tuning in for you. Keep connection. We are in the middle of our 6 days of giving. Yesterday we did giving back. We did encouraging growth, and today we're doing cultivating compassion. And we're doing that with Staci, who just illuminates that in so many ways.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let Stephanie do her intro, and then I'm gonna take it away.
Yeah, thanks everyone. It's good to see all of you out there tuning in. We are in day 3 of our 6 days of giving, and really this is about just reaching out to our community and letting them know more about what we do. And then Recovery Cafe Network in Seattle is offering a dollar for dollar match up to $10,000. So we're hoping to raise a little extra money to help us help more people. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing some partnerships with different organizations for rental assistance and phones and just different things to help us be more virtual and connected during these times. And that amount of giving, you know, whatever anybody can do is really appreciated. Cultivating Compassion is a super exciting, what do we call them? Sorry, my brain all of a sudden. Guiding principle. That's what I was trying to come up with. Thank you. So at Recovery Cafe, we have guiding principles, and Cultivating Compassion is one of those. And I just, you know, if you know me, you know that that's something that I pretty much lead my entire life with. Really compassionate towards people just in general, and especially those who really want to make changes in their life and really need just a little bit of extra help and encouragement to get there. So I'm excited for Staci to talk just about her story and what her recovery has looked like and how amazing she is. I know that there's been a number of times that she's brought people into the cafe. You know, bringing new people in is so awesome to see them get established and find a community that cares about them. And then I know that she is living in transitional housing with some of our other people. I just always find her to be super positive and just a bright light. And I have the benefit of never knowing her interactive addiction. And so I just see her as a beautiful young lady who's doing so many awesome things. So Brandon, I'm excited for you to interview her, and thanks for being a part of what we do, Staci. You are a real blessing, and we love you.
Love you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh, Staci, such a pleasure. First off, you know, one of my favorite parts about this is when we come on, whether it's like right before noon or right a second or two afternoon, and I see all the viewers pop right up across that screen there. Look at that. They just show up. It makes my heart warm, and I can't thank you guys enough for showing up. I just never in a million years think that this could be a thing or something that I could do with my recovery today. So I'm super blessed. And Stephanie's right. We are trying to get some money to help more people. So whatever we can do to help people by getting some more funding, that'd be great. But right now, I really want to just give all the time and all the attention to Staci. She's an amazing human being. Hi, Staci. How are you?
Should we start this thing off right?
Wu-Tang.
Wednesday.
Wu-Tang. I like the way you do business. So, how are you doing during this COVID episode?
You know, I think at first it was a struggle, like everyone's experienced. You know, being in recovery, so much of the quarantine has been really contrary to what we've been taught in recovery, especially early recovery. It's about, like, you know, I was taught to reach out and stay connected and go to meetings and don't sit in my room, don't dwell in my head, that's a dangerous place. And now that's, you know, exactly what's expected of us, to follow the rules, keep people safe, obey the law. So that was a little out of my comfort zone at first, but now I feel almost a little nervous of how comfortable I've kind of gotten into it. There's a lot of aspects of it that I'm really enjoying.
Right.
Yeah, like, you know, and I think that's part of also of what I've been taught in recovery, is to try and make the most of it and change my perspective of things. and I've really been enjoying staying connected with, my daughter and my family a lot more.
Right.
And making more of that quality time and one-on-one time with the people that I am close with and the people that I live with. Like Stephanie mentioned, I live in transitional living, or it's a recovery home with some other women, and there's even a little one in the house too. And it's been a cool opportunity to connect more with those women and learn more about them and see where we can, support each other better. Sometimes it's something as simple as playing with the little guy in our house to give, a single mom a break.
Love you, Ezekiel.
So much.
Throw that out there.
And it's, it's given me a chance to work on my step work more. I'm slowly learning to be alone with myself more and enjoy that time.
Ooh,
I know.
That's pretty neat.
It's a scary thing sometimes.
Right?
It's crazy.
It's what we do with our isolation. Like, I don't want to use the word isolation. It's what we do with our alone time that matters, like when you're isolating, that's a scary place to be in, right? But right now we are in a time of quote unquote isolation. So what are you going to do to stay on the positive side of it? Because there's two types of isolation, right? The type where we're forced to be in it right now, where we got to make the best of it, or there's that isolation where you're stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And that's a scary part, because we know, like, for me, isolation leads to relapse, and that's mostly 85 to 90% of the time. So, like, I'm glad that you're finding ways around your time, your downtime, we'll call it. I don't want to call it isolation. It's just such a scary word for me, but personally. Yeah. But your downtime for you to be able to find some motivational moments, we'll call them. So that's great. You know what I've noticed during this whole COVID thing? I was telling Stephanie this morning. I touch my face too much. That I just can't. I don't know. I just do. The other thing is I think we can all. Everybody's starting to learn. I think they're learning that they can do their jobs from home.
Yeah.
And that's scary to me. Like, I love connection, but I'm noticing, like, everybody can do their jobs from home now. They're finding ways around it. I wonder if I don't know. I just missed the connection part. What do you think?
I definitely miss the connection. I miss the freedom of being able to go where I want, when I want, with who I want.
Right.
But again, it's about that perspective, and you make the most of what you have, or you drown in being disappointed because your expectations aren't being met. So. Right.
Expectations bring what?
Future resentment.
There you go.
A wise man once told me that.
Yeah, they do. They bring resentments.
That's so true.
So our topic today is cultivating compassion. And since I've had the pleasure to not only be your friend, but know you as a sister in recovery, I find your compassion, like I just said, to be right now, it's illuminating. You do it well. Where did you learn to first cultivate compassion? And let's ask this. What does that mean to you? What does cultivating compassion mean to you?
It's funny. I was about a month ago when I was really stuck in my head dealing with the isolation stuff. I was trying to learn more about what compassion meant. And there's, like, the Latin base of it is compati, and it means to suffer with. And, what I know compassion to be is, when you can feel someone else's experience or suffering, and it's not just feeling that suffering and being able to relate to it, but wanting to help bring them out of that or find a solution to that. And I always identified compassion as being like an outward thing to somebody else for a long time. And what I've been learning these past few months, or really in recovery, is, like, it's got to start with being compassionate with myself. If I can't, learn to be compassionate with myself, then I'm not going to be able to do it to other people and provide that for other people. And I think that's been the greatest challenge, like, in my recovery, is being compassionate with myself, being patient with myself. I don't know if it's like this for men necessarily, but with women, we tend to be our own worst critic. We're just very, very critical of ourselves, very judgmental. And for me, like, that kept me loaded for a long time. Learning to, forgive myself, be patient with myself, that I'm learning to live a totally different way now that I haven't done before, or at least since I was really young. and that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to, it might take me a few tries to figure things out sometimes. And, if I'm tearing myself apart every time I don't meet my expectation, or I don't, do it the way I think it should be done, or in that, the amount of time I think it should take, then I'm going to end up getting frustrated, giving up, and going back out. And so compassion for me, it starts with myself first. And, I've got to nurture myself before I can help others, and before I can expect to treat others that way. I think it's especially important to be compassionate in community living, and just with people. Yeah, trying to be delicate how I say that.
There's a soft spot there with me. I know that all too well.
Yeah, but again, it goes like what I was just saying about, being compassionate with myself, that I'm living in a house full of women that, they're learning how to live their lives for the first time, being clean, without the use of drugs, without getting numb. And sometimes tensions run high. And if I can't show them compassion, how can I expect them to show that to me?
Right.
If I make a mistake there at the house, and, somebody goes off on me, and that's all I've ever done to them, then I need to set that example. I have a beautiful, amazing, incredible daughter.
Yeah, you
and,
Paige.
Hi, Paige. Love you so much. And, she has demonstrated so much compassion with me over the years, through my active addiction, through me, getting clean, and, me constantly trying to figure out, how do I parent you now as this clean person? And that's totally different than what you've known for a very long time. And the amount of compassion and patience and love that kid has demonstrated relentlessly to me, that's always a really solid reminder of, how I need to be with people. She's not used to having this kind of a mom.
Right.
So it's just being patient with people and trying to relate to them as much as possible. And like my favorite piece of what compassion means, it's finding the solution, once you can really relate to what they're going through, and trying to help bring them out of that, or better the situation. So.
Bro, you just mic dropped that. Like, so I just want to let you guys know, like, I was going to have her on tomorrow for forgiveness, and like everything inside of me was building. Something had happened where I couldn't get, like, something happened where somebody fell off today. I'm like, man, Staci would do so good at cultivating compassion. So I called her, and I'm telling you right now, like, that was a good call. I'm glad that you showed up for this one today. Not that I think that you'd have done good on any of our topics, but when do you find it the most important to show someone compassion? When you see that moment? Because I can think of a couple times in my brain where I know, like, a certain lady in your house who was going through it, and you brought her flowers, bro. Like, or there was a guy out there, you brought him in here to the cafe. Like, when do you see that right moment, and why? And when do you think it's a good time to spring with that compassion?
It's easy to say somebody needs compassion, like when they're obviously lost or hurting or scared or sad or defeated, but I think often the times that we need compassion the most, it's when it's ugly, and when it's maybe somebody's coming at you with something, and the last thing you want to do is be kind to that person, or be forgiving or patient with them. But usually, like, I know I'm needing compassion the most when I'm at my ugliest, which is usually, it comes out as anger, rage, fear.
Yeah, man.
And that's when, if somebody was, brave enough to go, whoa, crazy. Hey, I understand, like, if this is coming out this way right now, but I think really you're having a rough time, and I want you to know I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got to set healthy boundaries and keep yourself safe. Obviously, there's a balance to all of it, but sometimes people just need to hear, some advice that I was given by a counselor I had was that when, especially with loved ones, when things get heated, sometimes it takes something as simple as saying, like, hey, I'm sorry, I forgot for a second that we're on the same side. We're a team in this. And even though it doesn't feel like it right now. And, often, like, people feel alone, like, when they're going through the most and the hardest and scariest stuff. And just reminding somebody you're there with them. And when they're ready, you're willing to help them find a solution, can make a big difference.
Man, whoever that counselor is, you need a raise.
It's pretty solid.
I love that. Yeah, because you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be on different sides of the fence. That's a good one. I'm going to have to remember that.
And I know that sounds all, like, great and wonderful and, Hallmark special stuff. Like, getting to that point takes some work, and it's not always an easy thing to do. And there's times where, you know, I've been with someone that's really going through it, and they're, you know, giving me some choice words, or they're, you know, projecting it onto me. And it's all I can do to just say, hey, when you're ready to talk, I'm here for you, and I'm going to give you some space right now, and step away. And then I'm like, oh, you know, getting worked up in my feelings. And then that's when I get to show myself a little compassion and patience, and give it a little time, and just, you know, kind of meet them where they're at.
It's so important. Like, I say this with love too. How can you show somebody else compassion when you can't show it to yourself?
Yeah.
How can you love somebody else when you can't love yourself? Right? How can you believe in somebody else when you don't believe in yourself? You know, it all starts with yourself.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate that you just said that. Man, that was good. Kind of like, I like to dig deep in what people say, but like I was just so involved with what you were saying, like I can relate so much. Another reason we wanted Staci with us today is because she has a great recovery story. And we were wondering if you could just share a little bit about your successes, your proudest moments, what you've done with your clean time since you decided to get clean, and what that looks like for yourself.
So 6 months and 3 days ago, I got my first day clean, and it was something I never ever thought I could do. I had 19 years of using almost every single day, and so much wreckage that took place in that amount of time. So many people I'd hurt, and, you know, a daughter that I'd abandoned, and I was given the amazing opportunity to turn my life around at the Ark, and residential bed opened up, and my father and my daughter took me down there and dropped me off, and I unloaded about 20 bags in the parking lot before rummaging through it and then diving into that place. And
bright and early.
No, it was like afternoonish.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they gave me a time frame, and I like just went scooting in at the very last minute. Yeah. No punctuality.
Of course you did.
Hot mess. And I was there for 46 days, and that is the place that I started learning how to trust women again, how to set goals and achieve them. And they asked me, you know, what are 3 things you want to learn while you're here? And I said, well, I want to learn how to not use drugs every day. I want to learn emotional regulation and healthy boundaries.
Whoa.
And
good.
And they taught me so much in that amount of time. I was actually, when they said that I was getting out after day 46, I'm like, are you sure? Like, do you know what kind of a messed up drug addict I am? I figured I was going to be there for 90 to 120. And I, you know, before I left there, I had gotten a sponsor. I was attending the, you know, NA program. I was reconnected with my family and my daughter on a regular basis, and I moved in with my mom temporarily until transitional housing opened up. I still am in connection, you know, with some of the girls that I went to residential with, and some of them are my absolute best friends. You know, it's an amazing program that they have there, and that was where I first heard about Reclaiming Lives in the Recovery Cafe.
Woo-woo.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny, when I first came in here for orientation, I was like, you know, do I want to do this? Do I think this is a good fit? And then I got to have my first circle meeting here, and that's where I was like, okay, like this, I belong here. These are my people, and I knew this was going to be part of, you know, my recovery foundation, was being here. And so I went into outpatient treatment and was scooting through that and getting close to graduating and getting close to, you know, getting a lot of things back, like my license and a career job and privileges and trust. And you know, I had some hurdles to overcome. Things all of a sudden that weren't, you know, on track with my plan. And that was when, you know, I was so fortunate to have you guys step in and help me at probably one of the points where I felt the most like insecure and unstable and kind of defeated for a little bit. Like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, and, you know, these balls are getting dropped, or, you know, things aren't going the way that I was told they were, and this is getting difficult, and I deserve this. And you know, compassion gone, willingness gone. And what really got me back on track was seeing my support system that I built up. Brandon, Stephanie, the cafe, people at the Arc, my sponsor, my family, my very close friends. Really,
we love you, her sponsor.
So much.
Yeah.
You guys just circled around me, and even though I was like throwing fists and F-bombs and just,
right.
so pissed and acting out like a total jerk, and you guys just pulled around me and showed me so much support that like I couldn't, asshole my way out of that little, circle you guys made around me, and we got through it all and got on the other side of it, and I learned so much through that experience, because since then, big surprise, things have not always gone my way, like quarantine, and I'm not working that career job that I was being such a jerk about getting because of this. And, we all hear that life on life's terms, as cliche as it sounds. I mean, but that's kind of the heart of being compassionate with yourself, is that things aren't always going to go the way you plan. And if you can't learn to, adjust and find peace in it, and find joy in changing that plan, and going with the direction that things are changing and making that work. And for me, a big part of it is also getting out of my own head, getting out of myself, and being there for other people. Like, as soon as I start getting self-centered, the quickest way to get out of it is reach out to the people I care about and say, what can I do for you guys? I would say, I can't think of a single time where that hasn't helped take me out of my head, at least for a little bit. And, you guys do such an exceptional job of giving back constantly. When you guys came and supported me through something, it was amazing. As we were walking out, I see you guys circling around 3 or 4 more, people that don't know about this program you guys have here, and trying to offer help to them and support to them. And, that's, it's been very, very helpful for me. But, today my life is so much better than I ever could have imagined. I've got friends that are always there for me no matter what, even when I don't want them to be sometimes, and I want to sit in my misery. They're there to support me and love me.
Go sit in your shit.
Yeah, I'm good at that one. I have friends that care enough about me to hold me accountable to things when I start trying to, fall off track, and I'm really grateful for that. I love you guys. And, I've got a kid, like I said, that's so patient with me, and she's never given up on me, and I get to see her every day and be a mom to her every day now. And, I'm actually capable of, supporting her emotionally, physically, financially, for the most part, getting there. And
working on it,
yeah. I talk to my family every day, and I have people in my life that tell me every day that they're proud of me. And one of the best parts is that I've learned to respect myself again and love myself again. And I know I can say that every day I'm always working harder to be a better person. And I need to. I was a dirtbag back in the past, like so many of us were. So I'm very, very grateful that I got over that fear of doing something that was so unknown, that seemed so scary because I'd never done it before. It's choosing recovery every day now. I can, I heard this saying when I was using still, that my worst day clean is still better than my best day using.
Another one of those cliches. You're like,
and I'm going, bull. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that that's true.
Yeah.
And I've got some great memories, but it took a little time to get there. But I can definitely relate to that now, and I'm so grateful for that, for sure.
Amazing, and all that in so many different ways. I want to just touch on a few things. You said one of those recovery slogan sayings that are so cliche. There's just so many of them that just like resonate with me. Like, I can't stand it, but man, they're absolutely so true. Like, trust the process. Mm-hmm. Like, there's so many. I shut up, but then I look back and I'm like, man, they were dead on the point. Like, mm-hmm. Freaking sponsor was right again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you most proud of in your recovery today?
Today, I would say that I really any day, it's that I'm not using, that I can get through a whole day without using. That in itself, on a good day or a bad day, is always my biggest win. Because without that, all the other stuff, can't follow. Like being a good person, being a good friend, being a good mother, being a productive member of society. In 1 week from today, I'll be off probation. Never thought that happened. My PO
That's
said
a big deal, bro.
What? The guy that I ran from for 2 years or something.
Who is your PO?
Martin Andrews.
Oh, I love Martin, dude.
He's such a good dude.
If you're watching this,
you're the man, dude. You helped save my life. I appreciate you.
Me and that dude go back like 4 flats on a Cadillac, man.
He ain't no punk.
He ain't.
Gotta do what?
I love him. But anyways, continue. I apologize.
That and just I'm proud of myself for the work that I put into where I've earned the right to be around my kid again. There were a lot of years where I was deemed unsafe and unfit to even be left alone with my daughter, let alone live with her or care for her. And that was something that I held the most amount of guilt and shame over for a long time and kept me loaded. And today I'm grateful that I've earned that right back. So
you're so amazing. I'm just so proud of you.
thanks, dude.
I would say like my favorite part of Staci is like when I see somebody struggling, like she jumps up out of her seat before I can to help them, whether it's with a phone number, a hug, words of encouragement, and I can honestly say that I know this to be true, that you're proud of yourself today, and that's a big deal. I'm proud of you. I know Stephanie's proud of you. I know the cafe wouldn't be the same without you. We just love the heck out of you and love everything you bring. The way you just shine when you walk in the door. You're always heard first.
I'm just loud.
It's just great. And you were right, like that support system you have, they're a bunch of powerhouses. You guys know who you are out there. Like they are a bunch of powerhouses. I say this all the time, like with the family we have today, how can we lose?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like with my support system today, like how could I lose? Like I don't want to use.
Yeah.
That's not a thought in my head.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to help the person that may have that thought that I'm lucky enough not to have.
Absolutely.
Right? So with that being said, you guys, do you have any last words of encouragement? Anything to say to maybe somebody out there suffering? Anything like that?
To anyone that's still caught in their addiction right now, their active addiction, there is hope. That was something like that did not exist in my life when I was still using, and if you can just find it in yourselves to be brave enough to try and believe that there will be hope. There's resources out there. If you reach out to Stephanie or Brandon, they will help guide you and support you to get you to a point where your life is filled with hope and love and joy. I viewed myself to be the most hopeless drug addict there was in this town. And to anyone that's in recovery right now, just reach out and stay connected. Our disease wants us to isolate and be alone and let our thoughts take over. And I've lost some really good friends in recovery that are back out again, or they're starting over. And if you just reach out and talk about it, it makes a big difference. And I know that Stephanie and Brandon are two people that would be happy to help you through anything. So.
Well, I just couldn't be more happy with everything that we got to have from you today. You're amazing. You're just a great ball of energy, and I'm just super proud of you. Stephanie, you got anything over there? You good? I called her out again.
He does that from the shadows over here, typing away.
She's the one over there typing that all real fast.
Oh, they know now because I lit them all up. We got some great comments here. JP is like totally excited.
JP.
He wants to hug everybody.
Oh, we love you, JP.
Sarah
Venus bumps.
says your hair is fly as
She don't say many bad words. It's
Big things and diamond rings, bud.
Right.
Big things and diamond rings. What?
It's my residential homie.
Kelly Renee is fan, loves you.
Oh,
Margot Shanklin
Oh, Margot, love you, Margot.
says you're stunning.
Oh, you and your sister always will
That
be.
bright pink.
Right?
Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for everything you guys have done for me.
You bring a smile and light up a room, I will say that.
Right?
And you're
Thanks, guys.
fun.
Yeah.
I love fun people. We
I'm
have a lot of
something.
fun. Yeah.
Well, sure interesting if that ain't nothing.
Yeah,
eh?
that's true.
And your story is not written. Like, I'm so excited to see where you go
Thank you.
and the things you'll do.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love the heck out of you, and we totally support you.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to do, except get loaded. Anything you want to do in your life, we are
Not
gonna
that.
be right here to not just walk alongside you, but help you get there if you don't know how, and just support you all the way through it. We're not gonna give up. You're another one. Well, all of them, but just face to face saying like, we're never gonna give up on you. Just don't give up on yourself, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in today. And it is Wu-Tang Wednesday. Wu-Tang, we out.
Bye.